Hey everyone, I'm Aaron, Phantom Menace over here. There's Adam, Phantom Toll Booth. And it's a little different, Baseball Brewhaha today. I'm on the road. We've got a road game today. I've got the travel coffee, and I noticed that my hue matches with this as well. A little Ghost Phantom operation going here. But no matter what, we're here. We're dialed in. We're in a Baseball Brewhaha. Folks, if you've got a comment, you got something burning, trivia, please add it below. Follow along with us and add your trivia answer as we go along. We're going to be trying to answer a question about phantom players. We're going to explain what that means. Adam, what we got today?
Hey, we have phantom players. So my fellow phantom over there, which of these phantom players spent the most time in the minor leagues before being added to the active major league roster? So this is inspired by Drew Maggi, who spent many years in minor league baseball before making it to the majors. And a phantom player, if you don't know, is someone who is on the roster but doesn't play.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are looking at some players who were in that situation.
And for clarification, this isn't just, hey, they're on the roster, they don't play one game. This means they were on the roster and never played in the majors. So they were on the roster, but they never made an MLB debut.
So here we go. Here's our question with our answers. Which of these players waited the longest to make an active roster? So we have Clayton Blackburn, pitcher, Joel Chimelis, infielder, Tim Lahey, pitcher, or Jose Yepez, a catcher.
Yeah, I had never heard of any of these people, even though I later found out that Jose Yepez was in the Mariners organization, but hadn't heard of any of them. I went with Clayton Blackburn here for no reason other than I had a 1 in 4 chance, so that's what we're going with.
And I went with Joel Chimelis on this one, thinking we did an earlier thing on draft picks that made it to the majors quickly, and noted there that pitchers tend to make it to the majors quicker than position players.
Yes.
So I went with Joel Chimelis on this one. Well, let's take a peek, see what we got. And our correct answer is Jose Yepez, 10 seasons. Second place, Joel Chimelis, 7. So Blackburn and Lahey, our pitchers on here, made it quicker.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, and Yepez, just a quick note here. So there's so this is not an extensive list. There's well over 400 players, somewhere in that neighborhood of phantom baseball players. And Wikipedia has some nice stories about several of these players, which we're going to get into. Jose Yepez's entry says he was on the Mariners roster. He wore number 35. That's it. End of entry.
Comprehensive story. We're not going to use that entry for story time today.
We're not. We've already exhausted that one.
Yeah. So our first entry into the phantom players sort of scribe thing today. The words are phantoms today too. So Clayton Blackburn, who was a phantom player for 2 different teams. Here we've got Clayton Blackburn, as the phantom right now. Yep. He was a phantom player for the 2016 Giants and the 2017 Rangers.
The only person to be a phantom player on 2 different active rosters, by the way. I don't think he wanted that to be his claim to fame. But he retired from baseball in 2019. As far as I can tell, he's assistant baseball coach for the University of Central Oklahoma Broncos, not your traditional spelling. If you Google it, which you're not, but if you did, you'd find that it's spelled Bronchos. So, fun fact, Bronchos are doing great right now. They're 31-17 as of the recording of this show. So, having a good year.
I'm gonna guess they have like a special themed concession called the Broncho Nachos. You think that's true?
I did not look it up, but
It's within the realm of possibility, I suppose.
I'll give it a
So
good.
our next Phantom player sporting the Phantom outfit here, Tim Lahey. He had quite the journey. In December 2007, he was Rule 5 draftee by the Rays, and then immediately flipped to the Cubs for cash. He was then waived by the Cubs in March. This is 2008 now, and claimed by the Phillies. He made the bullpen out of spring training, but never pitched. He was then designated for assignment to make room for Brad Lidge, who was returning from injury, and sent back to the Twins. He was then released by the Twins at the end of 2010.
Yeah, this is a fun one. The guy is on 4 different teams and does not throw a pitch for any of those teams. So the next one here, folks, one of my favorites, Joel Chimelis. I think that's how you spell his name. Joel. Joel was called up by the Giants in 1995. And there was if you remember, there was a strike at the shortened the 94 season. I think what sometime even I forget is that strike lasted into what would have been spring training, kind of like it did in 2022. And so the season didn't start on time. Joel Chimelis was a replacement player during spring training following, during the strike. And since he was a strike breaker, like he didn't go on strike with all the MLB players, he was a strike breaker. The Giants players resented him very strongly. So much so that they threatened to revolt if Joel was left on the roster. So Joel, in order to pacify the team, Joel was sent back down to the minors, never to appear on a major league roster again. He hung around the minors until 2002. That's 7 years in the minors, and is currently working as the Angels AAA hitting coach. So he's still in baseball. He's making a career of it. Not probably the one he wanted, but still in baseball.
What a wild story for Joel, and quite a journey.
Well, you know what time it is, folks.
It's story time, and I'm taking you to a little bit of a Phantom experience that I had back when I played. So when I was a freshman in high school, I was okay, but I was not quite good enough to be a regular on the varsity. So I played some, so I wasn't a true Phantom player. But I often found myself on the bench until one day, our starting second baseman, I played middle infield, our starting second baseman, Jeremy, was scratched late due to a back injury. So I got to play. So I'm playing in the game. Here we go. The game gets late. We're trailing or tied. I can't remember. Late in the game, runners on base, clutch situation, opportunity for me to come through, help the team, make my mark, show that I can do this. I'm standing in the on deck circle, starting to walk to home plate. Stu calls me back. Stu, our coach, calls me back. Pinch hits for me for the guy with the injured back. Figured how he could go up there and hit. I'm crushed. I was crushed. I was like, dude, I'm going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Jeremy pinch hitting for me. There's a reason he's the starter. Hit a double, won the game. Cheers all around, except for me, feeling sad. But, I can only feel bad for so long because Stu made the right call. We won the game.
Yeah. Jeremy could hit, man. I remember he could hit. He was fun to watch. I have a Phantom experience from that same game, but a whole different style. Cul-de-sac, you were just talking about the town we played in, the school we played against. They were not in our league, so we didn't see it. That was the only game we ever played against them. I actually have no recollection of the game. I didn't even recall that event, even as you tell the story, I don't have any image of that happening. So it has disappeared like a phantom in the night. But the one thing I do remember is that the left field fence was incredibly short. And so I was thinking about it, and we were talking with some friends here recently about different wonky dimensions that we played, and we actually did a show about some wonky dimensions. And so I went and looked it up, and I was like, oh, yeah, it was probably like 270. It was kind of some wonky short porch. Oh, no, friends. The left field line, right down the line, was 228.
Like Little League.
228. Yeah, that's like, yeah, that is like Little League, like 28 feet longer than Little League.
Yeah, and
Our
I
high
remember
school
that.
team.
I remember that fence. It was a little taller fence, I think, to
Mhm.
accommodate for that. But I remember that's part of why I was like, I'm gonna get this. I had
Mhm.
this like vision in my brain. I'm gonna hit this home
Yeah,
run.
I'm gonna
We're gonna win the
win it.
game. And
Mhm.
then Stu's like, you're out of here.
Yep, yep. So anyway, good memory that I have no memory of. So that's
Phantom memory
a fan
that
of
suits
exactly a phantom
suits the
memory.
show perfectly. And now we're gonna be phantoms here in a moment.
We're going to call it here. We're going to give a special thanks to Baseball Reference, The Athletic, and the University of Central Oklahoma Broncos for some information about our friend Clayton Blackburn. So thanks everybody for joining us today. If you have a burning question, put it in the comments below. Find us on Twitter at Baseball Brewhaha and tweet at us there. Like, subscribe. We're back here every single day. We hope you join us. We're having fun. Thanks, everybody. Cheers.